This is a story about how I almost moved into a life that wasn't mine, and how I found out by accident. At the time, I didn't think anything was wrong. Everything felt steady, normal, and planned out. That's important to say first, because nothing about this started with suspicion or fear. It started with excitement. I rented the apartment without seeing it in person, which I know sounds risky, but it didn't feel that way then. The landlord was responsive, the photos looked exactly like what I wanted, and the timing made sense for where my life was going. I was relocating, starting fresh, and my boyfriend was supportive in all the right ways. He helped me talk through the decision, helped with the move, and even joked that it might turn into our place one day. Moving in felt like a milestone, not a mistake. The apartment was clean, empty, and quiet. Almost too quiet, but in a peaceful way. I unpacked slowly, enjoying the idea that none of the memories in that space belonged to anyone else anymore. The first strange thing didn't feel strange at all. It was just mail. When I checked the mailbox on my first day, there was a small stack of envelopes addressed to someone else. I assumed it was left over from the previous tenant. That happens all the time. I brought it inside, set it neatly on the counter, and went back to unpacking. Over the next few days, more mail arrived. Same name, different senders. Banks, offices, places that looked official. It wasn't alarming, just confusing. I remember thinking how odd it was that someone could leave so abruptly without changing their address. I even mentioned it casually to my boyfriend, laughing it off. He barely reacted, just said it happens and changed the subject. At the time, that felt normal too. A few days later, I noticed a padded envelope mixed in with the paper mail. It felt heavier when I picked it up. I stood in the kitchen turning it over in my hands, wondering why someone would send something valuable through regular mail. I didn't open it right away. I told myself it wasn't mine and I shouldn't be touching it. But curiosity has a way of growing when something doesn't sit right. That night, alone in the apartment, surrounded by half-unpacked boxes, I opened it. Inside was an engagement ring. There was no note, no explanation, just the ring, carefully wrapped like it had once meant something important. I sat on the floor holding it, trying to make sense of what I was looking at. My first thought wasn't another woman, it was confusion. Why would someone mail an engagement ring back to this apartment? Was she returning it to a jeweler, sending it back to an ex? Had it been mailed to the wrong address? I needed context because none of it made sense on its own. So I went back to the rest of the mail and opened one of the letters that came with it. And that's when everything started to make sense. I picked one of the letters at random. It was already